Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Look, yeah, it's been a busy day, Shem. Today I have a lot to say, hey, clearly. But I promise you, these are all things I've been like rehearsing in my mind and revising. Not even rehearsing, but revising in my mind the past month. So it's actually a continuation on the video, yeah, feminism is not ours. It's on that. It is so important that I give this word. It's important that I give this word. I must give this word. And it's gotten a bit chillier, so I decided to be more presentable for this class specifically. Hey, yeah, a lot happened. I lost my YouTube channel, I needed space. Things were not recording. I was taking so many takes. Yeah, but fact is, it worked out. I stayed calm. I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. And thank God for my genius son and his involvement and participation in my platforms. So today's class is a continuation on feminism is not ours. I just want to get into it a bit more and further get into it more. And after that video, I realized more. The other reason why with and for women mainly is to rebuild families, right? And if we are rebuilding families, we really need to get into even the more uncomfortable conversations where we're really calling each other out. But it's also good to break things down instead of just saying it's wrong, it's not ours. Break it down with better structure and better reference. So I hope this helps. I swear, this message needs to go out there. Like, there's just stuff happening that is just trying to distract me. Let me not be that person. Not today. I can't, not right now. We have a class. We have a class to take and be serious in right now. We are in class. Okay, so it just got me thinking on the influence that we as women have. And also because this August, my intention is to have the voice and opinion of men involved in this month's podcast of our channel, auntymagogo. Speaking of the channel, this is a great thank you, like for all the views. It's almost on 1,000, and that's the target my son gave me. 1,000 views. I don't care about the subscriptions. If subscribe, thank you. If you are a subscriber, subscribe if you haven't. But the views, that's what matters. The views. If one person is taking something from whatever it is that we are sharing out there, my sharing of my life experiences, and me not saying anything is inscribed or written in stone and this is it. No, these are my life experiences that I'm sharing that I believe could be beneficial to the next person and their family. So this is me working my purpose. And I do thank each and every one of you who takes the stuff seriously, who's actually doing the work. There are people who are not coming back and saying, auntymagogo, I'm trying this and this. But if it's working for you and you are, guys, those 7 classes, it's no joke. That stuff, you can use it to your own. You can use it. You can exploit those videos. Take your time with that. This stuff is no joke. You really do need to do the work to start the healing, to start getting better. You need to start doing the work. It's not about you just saying, yeah, I understand it. I understand the requirement of me. I understand how great I am. Sometimes we just get too caught up in just being told that you're a queen, you are divine, you are this, and just, float in that I'm a queen, but a queen works. To be a queen, you must be a queen. meaning you do the work, really getting and reckoning with yourself. That's what the work is. So my stuff is not easy. It is not easy. It's really dependent on how much you put in. And you can lie to people and tell them you are doing the work, but if you are not, it's going to be evident in your life. If you're saying you're doing the work but you're not seeing a change, go back. Really write down, speak to yourself. What am I doing wrong? What am I missing? What am I not trying to face here? What am I trying to avoid here? What am I avoiding? What have I been avoiding and why? Ask the whys. Going around and telling people you're going through a spiritual healing journey, it doesn't mean anything. Sometimes just saying nothing and doing your thing and watch the changes in your life happen. That's all it takes. Just keeping it. You don't need to know everything that is out there that is information. You don't need to follow through on everything that is out there as new thoughts or new information. What are you saying? Of all the stuff that you've been learning from the people you've been following what are you applying? What have you applied? Why do you still follow them? Are you seeing a difference in your life because of what they are teaching you? Of their life experience, what is it that resonates? Do you really like this person's thought process? Do you like what they are sharing? Or do you just like how they look, how they speak, how they present themselves? What part of them is representing you? You must ask those type of questions. What is it about them that attracts you to them? And why? Why her? Why him? What am I trying to get from this? So, thank you very much. I am so happy. I am so happy and so humbled, and it's all a reflection of Ra's grace, of the people that I walk with, who are guiding me, who are with me every day. The sun that I walk under, the soil that I walk over, the water that I drink, the fires that keep me warm, the conversations that I have with nature, the conversations I have with myself. And it's all about the right tribe coming together. We all find, I don't know each and every person who's watched these videos. I don't have to know, but we are one. We are one. We are one, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. No matter your reason for watching my videos, I appreciate it. We are almost at 1,000. We are almost at 1,000, and I'm still appreciating each and every person who took their time to even just come and sit down with me and let me share these conversations with an audience that we don't know. Wherever you are in the world, because I know it's not just South Africa, wherever you are, shout out, tell us where you're from, who you are if you can, wherever you are. Thank you so much. Wherever you are, Mzansi, thank you. Every person, every sister out there, thank you, 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 thank you. I am grateful. I am grateful. Thank you. I am grateful. Ke a leboga. 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 So let's get into it. Our class today, the topic is a woman's influence, or our influence as women. So one of the brothers that I wanted an opinion from for this month as one of my interviewees, he wanted to remain anonymous, and it was just an interview over the phone. Me just listening, like going back to my journalist. Hey guys, I was a journalist once upon a time. Going back to those times, nothing is a mistake in this life. I'm telling you, everything that you are doing. So that's why you need to have space to always say yes to things. If a new opportunity presents itself, if it feels like there's a yes there, take it, because you don't know what is preparing you for the future. So, okay, we had the conversation, the interview over the phone, and from him sharing experiences of the other men around him, and most of these men are married men, by the way. But he was sharing the experiences from the conversations that they were having as men from spending a weekend together. So his friends came over to his house to visit. And Bannaballa, guys, men are seeing flames. As much as we as women, for everyone, all of us, guys, we are all seeing flames. We are all just seeing this thing kicking our asses, kicking our booties. So the gist of it is me realizing the influence that we as women have, the influence that comes from women. The last little story that he was telling was he was sharing how someone he knows is having issues with his wife not wanting to be intimate. Like there's no more intimacy because she's always just busy. She's always busy. There's always something for her to do. So this man, instead of him going to his uncles and involving other men in his marital issue, he went to the source. He called her mother and then told him, hey, this is what I'm facing. The mother could not attend to the matter because of distance. Arumela, her sister, to go and speak and find out what issue the aunt or the sister gets there and she put the sister back into check by referring even to biblical scriptures, that system of belief for structuring. A woman had to come and explain the importance of intimacy. Those things will always be there. Make the time to connect with your husband, the importance of that connection. A woman came back to put a woman back into check. Only another woman can influence a woman. Only a woman can influence another woman. Same as guys. That's why one of the biggest issues that women have as influence, your friends. He listens to his friends. He only has time for his friends. You get what I'm saying? So today's class and topic is, so that conversation was inspiring to this topic too, of the influence that we women have in our relationships, in society, in our lives, in our jobs, in our roles, in our seats, in our thrones. So a woman's influence or our influence as women. Again, these are my experiences. These are my thoughts. I am not looking down on anyone. I am not judging anyone. These are my experiences. Based on my research and my path and my journey and wawa. So it's a reflection phase, as I did explain, August being a reflection time, because next month will be New Year for Rona. New Year in our hemisphere. Everything is coming to blooming. Everything is blooming into life. And for me, it's extra special because I really took the time this winter to do nothing much. And the universe has actually served everything. Even the things that I was ready to do, even while having to be in my time of stillness and hibernating. And I was dedicated to them as my work. God just came and said, no, my child, we're going to do it this way. And it all worked out. So I'm looking forward to the spring. So in this time of reflection, in the 11th month, I'm excited. And I am ready to face some of the truths that come with my own reflections of things. Hey, I've reflected, guys. I reflected. And I reflected. I really did. I really did. Like, whenever July was a time for family structuring, restructuring, like looking at things or into things in that sense. And this girl did do that. I came back like with a new and fresh perspective on things. Like, oh, okay. to this, to this. You know what I mean? So since it's reflection phase, I decided to go back, man, to where we think it began in the story of the Bible, in the book, right? So I went to Genesis 3, verse 12, or verse 11 and 12. God went straight to Adam. Let's start with verse 9. In verse 9, he says to Adam, where are you? So verse 11, God started by looking for Adam. God was looking for Adam. Like how, where are you? I'm trying to find you, but you are hiding yourself. Why? Most cases when you avoid yourself, you do the dumbest things ever. You are hardly at home, you with the wrong crowd, you using a certain substance, like you're just avoiding self. You get into the wrong things. So this is after Adam and Eve had eaten the forbidden fruit. Verse 11 and 12. Who made you know that you were naked? Did you eat the fruit that I told you not to eat? This is God asking Adam, why are you hiding from me? You've changed. Something is up. What is happening here? Note, the first person that goes, which I found interesting, which tweaked my mind. I was like, oh, God first went to Adam. Like, hey, you. The reason why God went to Adam is because Adam is the one who asked for a wife. Right? Adam was there before Eve. Eve was created out of Adam's request because Adam went and asked God in the universe and his ancestors to bless him with a wife. His ancestors can be anything that existed before him because the Bible just starts from Adam. We don't know who Adam's father is or whatever, but everything came to be from the word. So Adam's ancestors are nature then. His ancestors are nature, the four elements. The fire, the water, the air, and the earth. The garden. Right? He went and asked for a wife and he was provided a wife. So he was there to take God of whatever it is that was there before him and before Eve. So God goes straight to the man, Adam. Where are you? Who told you you're naked? And have you eaten the fruit that I told you not to eat? So the responsibility first fell on Adam. And Adam passed it over to Eve. You'll see why. By choosing to go against his covenant with self. So before Eve, Adam already had a deal. He already had an agreement. He already had a system of belief with self being God, being his ancestors too. Whatever was there before him. So this is him losing his principles. This is him losing his life source. This is him losing his roots and his background. This is him giving this to Eve, handing it over to Eve by allowing Eve to come and say, my guy, why, who told you to do? Your elders said this is what you must do. Eve forgetting that she found this man, she saw a partner in him because of this background, these principles, these roots, this covenant with self and with God. What she saw fit as a man is what she's now trying to turn him against. Genesis 3 verse 13. The Lord God, the Lord God asked the woman, why did you do this? So God moved over from Adam and went to the woman. Because still, this thing is between her and her own covenant, her own God self, her own God and her own ancestors. Because again, she was created from man, from his rib, a bone from his rib. The rib protects the heart. The rib cage protects the vital organs that are here, your respiratory, your heart, Your blood pump, go hema, oxygen, bophelo bo mo. Sefubeng ke mo moya o leng akere. Say it with your chest. The Lord then went and asked Eve. And she replied, the snake tricked me into eating it. That was now her taking the responsibility and giving it to the snake being an outside influence. An outside influence. Because when God made Adam, he was made for the garden. And Adam requested a partner. The partner came. There was nothing between Adam and Eve and this external force being the snake. An interesting thing, because I use both the Hebrew and the Good News Bible. In the Hebrew, what the scriptures say snake, in the Hebrew scripture it's Nahash or Nahesh, shiny one. It means shiny one. So anything it's something that is attractive. Something that calls you, something that lures you. When you go to the rivers, when you go to the waters, if you see something shiny, don't go for it. Leave it alone. It is not yours. That is not why you are there. That is not why you are there. Because not everything that glitters is gold. Not everything that glitters is gold. And 2, Eve had already everything that she needed where she was. Eve. She did not have to go outside of the garden to get anything. Because even the things that she was supposed to stay away from were in that same garden. So the temptations, anything was still in that same garden. The temptation was in that garden. What does that also say? Where is Eve's garden? Eve's garden is here. Mind 1, this first womb is your mind. Number 2, it's your heart. Third womb is your womb, where the life is created, but you are life yourself. So Eve came into this garden already being a garden herself. So even the influence, it came from within. It came in because it was already within. It was waiting. 3, why was the woman the serpent's influence? Why was the snake, or should I say Nahash, why was that outside influence targeting the woman first? It probably tried Adam, and Adam was like, nah, not my people, my God told me, this is how we do things. Stay away, stay out of it. So if Adam was the head of the garden, why did the enemy approach the woman? It is not because the woman was the weak link. No, it's because the woman is actually the one with the power. He who has influence is the one with power. Look at the great dictators. They had influence. They had studied the human mind. They understood how to get the mind going. They understood bravado because they needed that type of support. They needed support mostly to build armies. They were building armies of some sort. Influence. If you can influence anyone, you have their mind. You have them influenced. Let me actually look for the meaning of the word influence. I actually didn't look that one up, but I think it's a very important definition to have today. Influence, effect of one person or a thing on another. A person with the power to have such an effect, to have an effect, to have power over someone or something. That is influence. So that's why the serpent, this outside influence, went to this woman, because she had the power, she had the influence. Ke ga kae monna a change o re mtsebang re ra o jisiwe. First thing. O jisitswe. If he's changing, if he's no longer doing the things that he used to do, if he's going against what makes the rest of the family go, even if it's good changes, because sometimes, women, we come in to break generational curses. And if you tell him, no, love, this is not how it's done. No, you teach him to love himself. You come in to teach him how to love himself, to know what to accept and what not to accept as his responsibility. To also remind him that his responsibility is what you're also there to build, the family and legacy that you are building together. By you reminding him, you are there to grow, not to destroy. So sometimes, wafitla, runa baside, utola munna unali structure se sharp ratile ntho e bonang, and then you want to change it. Now you are making room for your own father's thoughts to come and influence another man's house, another whole family and tribe and clan's way of life. You are bringing your own foreign way of life in. This is where the Delilah comes in. This is where Delilah comes in, that influence. This is when our families don't trust the woman. If a man dies, now the woman is the first suspect. Because people, we all know the power of the influence that the woman has. So Nahesh did not approach the weakest link. He knew of the power of her influence. Our influence is strong. It is powerful. And as they also say, to get to a man is through his stomach. So you're cooking. If he loves your cooking, you can give him anything. You won't question it. We know that as women. That's our power. We know that. As a mother, your children will always miss your type of cooking, no matter how bad they thought it was or how imperfect it was. They will miss you preparing something for them. There's always that room. You will always miss your grandmother's cooking, that auntie's cooking. Whoever, there's a woman who has influenced your stomach somehow. We all know the power of that. No one can cook the certain thing like that someone. It's food. Food is life. So, renal power ew. Renal power ew. Food is life, that even when you're cooking and you're cooking in good spirit, that food that you are preparing, you are praying into that pot and saying, God, multiply this food. That's why it is for you, the woman, the preparer of the food. If your man cooks, even better. And he knows sometimes to give you a break and let you cook. Perfect. That's how it should be. If he can't cook, teach him how to cook. Make him interested in cooking. Teach him a few things for him to do in the kitchen. Teach him. But most cases, it is the woman who prepares the food, because we are the life givers. We are the multipliers. As we are cooking and cooking in good spirit, whatever I'm touching in that kitchen is to bring more, is to give us more life. But if I'm using that food to control this man so that he does what I want, my sister, that happiness won't last forever. It will not last forever. It won't be forever. That is your death. So Adam made a request to God or the universe or the sun for a partner to share the garden with. And his ancestors, I mentioned his ancestors. And Adam's ancestors are the 4 elements, because there's no story in the Bible of who made Adam. It was he. God made, as the same as God made these mountains and these seas that we cannot explain. God made man. Okay, man came here. Okay, sharp. We'll take it from there. Sharp. Okay, so his ancestors are what? The 4 elements. Same as with you. You can go into nature and pray and speak or listen and meditate. You will come back with a message. You will come back with some type of something. Guidance, feeling, peace, healing from that. That's your ancestors. You come from there. Those are the oldest things to exist. Nature is the oldest thing to exist. Higher than man, above all men, because it is here and it cannot be argued away. You can even close your eyes. You cannot argue it away. So if Adam went and asked for this partner, it means that he needed balance. He did it because he needed balance. Adam went and requested God for a partner because he needed balance. He already had a plan of where she could fit in and how they can make this garden better than what it already was. So Genesis 2, verse 15 to 17, God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and to guard it. So Adam already had this garden. He already had a task. He already had a role. So by the time he asked, he knew what his job was and he knew where the woman would come in. He wanted to share this life with someone. Hence, I say he needed the balance and he knew he needed it. That's why the man is the one who seeks a wife. He's the one who proposes. He's the one who sees that this person is going to build my family even further. That's why he was there to cultivate and guard it, meaning he already had a currency. He was already okay. For you to even accept that offer is because you knew and you saw he was a cultivator and already he was a protector. Because we saw something there. There was life there. That's why they were like, okay, we'll come. We'll come give life to that life. Fine, we're coming. Genesis 2, verse 23 to 25. And also, let's look at the definition of a garden. Garden is a piece of land for growing flowers, fruit, or vegetables. So a garden is food, it's medicine, it's life, it's currency, because we can make a living from it. Or not, just feed ourselves. This garden represents his upbringing, family, and his customs, as I've already mentioned. Garden is Adam's customs. And whatever his family and ancestors and wherever he comes from, whatever he's learned from that. So even the bad things, that is his garden. So if you are coming in and seeing that this garden, you still, your role is still being questioned as a woman. Okay, utola ile garden so. You need to fix that garden to make it come back to life. You cannot want to sit in a garden that is rotting away and is dying. So if you are called into a garden and Waibon are starting to die, you make sure as the woman that you bring life to that garden. And how you bring life to that garden is not you taking the shovel and working in that garden, is you working on your own garden and making the life of your garden show externally. This is you motivating and whispering into this man's ears like, no, that tree needs this. How about we do this? Do this to that tree. Let's do. Your influence is being used to bring life. That is the influence we bring. Motivating Mutu, reminding them of who they are, the power within them, because you already know your power, because you tend to your garden every day. You came into this garden that he welcomed you into, already carrying your own garden inside. Your garden is your mind, your heart, and your womb. Genesis 3, verse 15. Wait, before we get there. Genesis 2, verses 24 to 25. Adam and Eve, they are getting to be one. Before the serpent comes, Adam, Bameza, they are getting to be one. This is the creation of Eve from Adam. 24 to 25. Genesis 2, 24 to 25. Let me read it. Genesis 2, 24 to 25. I cannot rush this even if I want to, because we are trying to break this down, right? I think it gets later from 23. 22. He formed a woman out of his rib and brought her to him. Then the man said, at last, here is one of my kind, bone taken from my bone and flesh from my flesh. Woman is her name because she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united with his wife to become one. So Adam and Eve are made one. Adam and Eve are building their own, but it's under Adam building his own home and life, because he's taken from his father to now carry on his father's name under his own home. Man leaves his father, finds a wife. So it's not man and woman come and leave their father. No, he finds a wife, meaning taking her under this life that he comes from, the background that he's coming from, this name that he's coming from, and they are going to continue it together. Genesis 3 verse 15. This is after now the forbidden fruit is eaten. This is now God now bringing punishment to Adam and Eve for their mistakes. Now the other interesting thing is God came to Adam and Adam was like, no, it was the wife. Then God went to Eve and Eve was like, no, it was the serpent. Imagine if it was different and God then found Adam and Adam was like, God, I know you had told me, or Eve, both of them, I know you had told me not to eat this fruit, but since eating this fruit, this is what I discover. I see why you said I shouldn't eat this fruit. Or why did you say I shouldn't eat this fruit? Because you knew I would discover this. Like, take accountability and grow from it and making it a lesson. You know, how it would be different. The curse or the punishment would be different. Or should I say the circumstances to our choices would be different if our mess ups, we acknowledge them when they catch up to us and say, okay, so if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't know this. Now I know better. Let me stay away from that. I am sorry for doing this. I went against what was custom. I went against what was custom. That's why, like, the things go wrong. That is you going against your custom. It's going to come back and catch up. And you acknowledging that you were wrong is you making the sacrifice. Something to appease, ukope forgiveness from Kobadimu and asking Otherwise, if you won't come, the child is still okay because it's still under the mother. Still under the mother's leadership, under the mother's influence, and in the mother's garden that she's already carrying in herself. The mother's influence and nurturing, but more than anything that the mother has is the nurturing, no matter where. Because the garden is within her. So now Genesis 3 verse 15. And I put enmity between you and the woman and between your seed and her seed. Now this is God speaking to the serpent. Enmity means no union between women and external influence. So this is God putting conflict between women and anything that is external. Any external influence is not allowed into this union. As soon as you bring external influence into your relationship as the biggest influence and power of influence, power of life, as soon as you bring shit that is not supposed to come into the house, things really go wrong. So one of the other things that this brother was sharing with me in the telephonic interview was also how we women look into the spirituality, like how dishonest we are. We're getting external influences without even having this in a marriage. It should be me and my partner sitting down and saying, Han, I don't know if you've noticed this pattern of this thing. Do you also see it? Further, and then come to the suggestion, you as the woman rather saying, I think maybe we need to go find someone. Somebody for spiritual. No. The man of the house knows. So he's the one who says, okay, sharp, I'll go and see and so now we are doing things where we are going outside and coming back with things, and we say no, and whatever it is, like, what is that? What is that? So God put it in word. not in word. This was put out there. It's also there. If you are going to bring outside influence into your union, into your marriage, into your relationship, into yourself, your covenant with God, it will not work. It will not work. It will not bring you fruit. It will not work. Plant that seed. Do that. Sharp. It will not serve you, sis. It will not. It will not do you any good. Even the generations after you. If you don't listen to the family, usinse down to the soil. It is messed up. Nothing will grow from it, and you will pay for it. You are asking for a life of just misery. Mo go na leng kganya go na le bophelo go a bonagala. Mo ileng lefifi teng a gona bophelo go a bonagala. It becomes very evident. You can't hide those things. There'll be misery. Even people that you think are looking moneyed, yes, they have external riches from, gains that are not of light either. Listen unto so adilas in those households. They might look like they can eat whatever they choose to eat anytime, any day, as opposed to someone else who's really struggling and they don't know where they're going to get their next meal. But they are not happy. That person who has no plan of the next meal, they will be blessed with something at the right time. Might be just before they collapse or when they're just losing destitute, like what is happening. The right meal will come and they will appreciate, and that little moment will carry them over to the next great moment. Another meaning for the word enmity is ill will or hatred. So now let's break this down even more. I am breaking it down. This influence word, let's use the last part, I hope, 10 minutes to break it down even more. Any influence that is external, that is not true, that is not genuine, that is not life-bringing, that is not egotistic. Or should I say, external influence needs to be, as a woman, because we know we are the influence. Any external influence that we bring into our lives, into our families, into our relationships, it has to be true, it has to be genuine, it has to be life-bringing. It is not egotistic, it is not selfish, it is not to gain you, but it is for the greater good. That means also not putting petrol to a fire that you already see your husband is in. Where's the situation even worse? If he's a flame, you become the water. If this is a flame that's going to burn our crop, burn our garden, become the river. If he's the water that's bringing the cold, become the fire to warm things up, to bring the warmth. If it's the sun that's burning our crop, become the rain. If it's the sun that is just not giving us food, become the rain, sis. And if he's not giving you the space to be in your own garden, to keep tending to your garden, move away, sis. Then he's not the one for you. You are in the wrong garden. Wrong garden. The right garden lets you just work on this. Keep being true to yourself. Gives you space to exist. If the external influence is not true, genuine, and life-bringing, it will not bring any life to your marriage, your garden, your family, your union, or even your currency. Your livelihood will be affected. So, breaking it down even more. This goes for women who are already in partnerships. partnerships, whether married or not. I won't go into living together. That's a recipe for disaster, and you know why. But even in that, you choosing to be in a partnership, and if that partnership is towards lifetime marriage, sharp. Also, this goes to self, ladies. If you are still single, or even still in a relationship, this goes back to the relationship with self. The Garden of Eden within us. We carry these gardens within us as women. Let's firstly understand that. Eve came already being a garden because she comes from a garden. She's a piece of a rib, a piece of the protection of the heart of the man who's tending and protecting and cultivating this garden. Now, garden says, you are a garden yourself. You're already protected enough, because you bring life to gardens. That's why you are invited into the garden. So first, this man must first have a garden. He must first have something for you to come and nurture. You don't find a man without a garden and try to nurture that. That does not end well. And if there's no man who has a garden to go and nurture, keep nurturing your garden. Number 2, he must earn the union. Adam giving his rib to give life to woman was him actually making and earning his time to union, to being with you. He must prove himself. He must make some type of sacrifice, offering, or honoring. This goes back to before marriage. He must show this to you. He must show you and how he treats you, how he makes you feel, how he motivates the cultivation of your own internal garden. That's how he earns it. That's him sacrificing. That's him offering. That's him honoring. That's his rib, his time too, his words. Because Adam asked and sought God for him, and he received. So his words, the words that he's using to bring life to you, the words that he's using around you to communicate to you, to get your nurturing, what are they? Are they true words? Even his faults, they need to be faults that you see, oh, this is where my balancing comes in. Oh, this is why he was led to find and seek me, because this is what I am like. So this is all going back to you teaching him how to love himself by you already loving yourself. You see? Number 3, the woman does not come carrying a garden. She's already a garden because she is a nurturer, not a servant. You are already a nurturer. Do you know how much landscapers make out here? Do you know how much they get paid? Landscapers. You are coming to be the advisor to the cultivator and guard of this garden. You are here to support him. You are going to be the life source of this God and cultivator of this garden. How are you going to be that? How do you know that? It's because you've been doing it your whole life. You are born to do that. You are a nurturer. So you've been cultivating your own garden and tending to it your whole life by being true to what makes you you, your divine, your divineness, your feminine. And knowing you are your feminine, you are living within and through your feminine and recognizing it. So this is the difference of you coming into the garden to nurture it and you trying to build a garden. You trying to build your own garden and calling an Adam to come into the garden. How's that going to work? You can't be the nurturer of the garden, cultivator and God that you created. You'll be everything. It won't work. This is the difference of you being seeked out and welcomed into a garden. So if you are seeked out, you are waiting for it. So no pressure if you are still single. Keep working on self. If you are in a relationship, keep working on self. Work on self. You will be tested. In the work that we are doing, our relations test us every day. I am being tested every day of my role. What am I here for? I'm about to lose but what am I here for? What example should I be setting? Is it that important? Do I really need, me getting pissed off? How can I handle this better? Yo, guys, I'm not kidding you. You changing just your way of doing things, it brings life. It comes back to serve you. The choices that you make come back to serve you. So, you are the nurturer, not a servant. The queen to the king of the garden. Imagine coming and being. You come, you see this garden, this beautiful garden, everything, all the fruit, all the vegetables, the shade, the perfumes. Oh my God. The beauty, just the sight, just the sense. But this is where you are coming to sit. This place is coming to serve you. I am here to look after this and make sure whatever you want, I give you. You are given or offered a seat to share a throne. Come on now, sisters. Come on. If a man wants you and he shows you and he's earned it, that's what he knows what he's earning. He knows what his garden is going to gain from just offering himself to you in that sense. Honoring you enough to say, no, I will wait for the right time to make you my person. But while we are working on that, he's earning the time, the right time to come and say, no, you are coming here. Earning it. A woman does not come with cultures of a father's garden. She does not come. We don't want your father's gardening here. We don't want your father's gardening here. We are wanting you to help us cultivate this person. That's what the world needs you for. That's what your family needs you for, to come and help this person cultivate this garden further. Not to come and tell us what your father said or how your mother and father did things. No, we don't care. This man seeks the wife after attaining the garden. Remember, God first made Adam and then made the garden. God first made the garden. What am I saying? He made the garden, then he made Adam to come and look after. Then Adam asked God, the maker of all things, for someone to come and share this life with. For someone to come and give him balance in this life. So if anything, what this story should do is to remind us of how powerful we as women are. That's it. The power of our influence, guys. I just want to use this time to remind the power of our influence. Let's start checking ourselves in that sense. Let's use this August to say, how far does my influence go in my relationship with my person? How can I make it better? Where did I mess it up? Give love where there's no love. Celebrate love where there is love. It's that simple. Give love where there is no love. Celebrate love where there is. It's also a thing where he's there to also protect you away from things that are toxic. Even our families as women are toxic towards us. So he's coming to say, hey, check that. That is not good. No. Check that. He'll remind you that you are not alone, because people take advantage of us. He reminds you that you are not alone. Like, hey, baby, check that. Things that you were never aware of, whether your masculine was coming through and you were never aware. Where he's like, you don't have to do that. No. And you're like, hey, I've been dealing with this whole time. And I didn't have to. What? Our influence will. So now we need to question it. Our influence, will it or does it not serve better when first we serve ourselves by trusting the gardens that we own and carry? I will ask this again. Will it or does it not serve better when first we serve ourselves by trusting the gardens that we already own and carry? We must first serve ourselves. We must first tend to our own gardens so that to know the partner who seeks. So that by the time the partner who seeks us and finds us, we will know how to balance him. we will know how to cultivate his own garden, and to guard his own garden so that he can tend and guard our own garden. If you already own these gardens, does it not make sense to bring gardens that we invited into? Okay, if we already own these gardens, does it not make sense to bring these gardens that we are invited to bring? Does it not make sense to bring these gardens that we are into the gardens that we are invited to? If we are already gardens, yes, it makes sense to bring life to these gardens that we are invited to. My own wording. I was in it. If we're already gardens, guys. If you are bringing powerful influence, your man's life must change. If before he wasn't gaining something and now he's gaining it, it should show. Like if he was lacking something, like for example, it's not about coming and making him make money, but he must recognize his worth. Men are also abused out here. Guys, that we find them in their lives already with, and we need to protect them too. We need to protect our homes to not have any external influences. We need to have our shit in check in the house so that the external influence does not come for us. It knows where to stay bay. It knows to keep away. So if we are the ones who are opening the doors to outside influences, are we going to be aware of the things that are really coming to attack you? We get into these families because we want to get into these families. We want to build families. We want to have that type of ownership. That is the greatest ownership any person can have. A family. Your own family. Even better if it's a good one. If it's good, it's one that is serving. It is one of light, not one that is destroying that man's root, that background, that garden. We are not here to destroy gardens. If we already own gardens, ladies, why do we pursue or accept partners that have no gardens to invite our nurturing into? Woo! I love that question. If we are already our own gardens, then why do we pursue or accept partners to invite our nurturing? No. Then why do we pursue or accept partners that have no gardens to invite our nurturing into? It's a reminder to not go for men who have less than what we need. Not want, less than what we need. The balancing that we also need. Sometimes we talk about when we balance wrong, but when not want to share right, now I'm balance na. Does this person balance my spirit and my wants too? That also counts. But it has to start from needs, spiritual needs. Does this person bring me healing? Do they bring me abundance? We need to see each other's influence. Is it tougher or is it easier? Is it mirroring for both of us? It's not just one winning. Because if it's just one winning, as you honestly, let's don't be proud of you being the person energy life. Don't be so eager to say, with me, what's probably no, it's not good. It must work both ways. He must gain, you must gain. So I'm gonna break it down some more. If we already own gardens, then why do we pursue accept partners that have no gardens to invite our nurturing into? So our garden as women is our nurturing, right? That's the feminine. This brings life. So this is our feminine. Our nurturing already, our internal garden. It's spiritual. The man's garden, Adam's garden, was the Garden of Eden. It's physical, meaning it's masculine. Feminine because it's spiritual. The garden, Adam was working hard. The male specimen is more external. Otherwise, the penis is more external because the masculine is more something that is seen. The feminine is hidden. The feminine is spiritual. So this is where the balancing comes in. You are the spiritual sister. He is the physically. You are the feminine sissy. He is the masculine. So know when to use that. Your looks are not your garden. Your looks are not your garden. Your accomplishments are not your garden. See, that is not your garden. No. It is your mind, it is your heart, it is your womb. Your womb is your intentions and your influence, not your physical womb and about you bringing life into this world. That is not your biggest role as a woman. If you want to learn more about that, go to class number 3 on our YouTube channel, Your Womb. I break that down a bit more. We do not wait for men to take care of us. We do not wait for men to come and take care of us. That is not what the whole Garden of Eden cultivating and protecting is. We wait for men we are going to grow and build with because we know the gardens that we possess. So we want partners that will apply these lessons that we are going to share and these prayers that we are going to put out there for these men. Because the wife is the bringer of life, meaning the prayers also come from us, the women. We are the powers of influence. We are the doors and the windows to this household. So we need to have our shit in order. Please do right by self. Tending to your own garden will enhance and breed the external garden. Tending to your internal garden will breed. What's the other word? And enhance the external garden. Yes. That is the class, that is the lesson on our influence as women. The power of your influence as a woman. Let's please still reflect on that. The power of your influence as a woman. Check that. Start looking at that. Check into it. Check yourself. Check yourself, sis. Check it. Your influence. Our influences. Re kana mo di family tse go lukisa or re kana just go re tlo owner. And like the whole thing like that is so old school go ba makoti olo o etsang so hey sis now we live away from our families. I sale ele agale where you are living with the husband's family 24/7. Those times where you are there, don't be that. If you and your man have the agreement and it's a new age relationship where you are sharing responsibilities, but because we know how old people are and they're so stuck in the ways, why do we want to further influence the papa tsabona? It's unnecessary. If it's only going to be 2 weeks of our lives every 6 months in a year that we spend with our families, where I, the wife, will be the one, instead of you bringing me coffee in the morning like how we do at home, I'm the one who's bringing you coffee, who's bringing you something to eat. I'm the one serving everyone. I'm the one doing everything. You're going to be busy sitting under the tree and discussing things as men under trees and just sitting to be served. That is what's happening in your culture, in your husband's family. And the women are the ones serving the whole day. Do that. It is not going to be forever. It is not going to be forever. The way he grew up in that. You saw a man because of that same background. Why do you want to deprive your sons, them gaining wives from wives who are also going to be attracted to that type of background? Why are you selfish? Got the background. No, Oh, I can be this man's wife. Because of those same things that you are refusing to do and take part of and participate in for just 2 weeks of your life. Where the rest of the year, this man, he rubs your feet. He tells you to stop cooking. He'll take care of things. He serves you. You serve each other. That is between you and him. And that is where you know your heaven is. So if it's just going to take those few minutes in your life every now and then to just go be there and support this man and reminding him, I am here to build this family with you. I am not here to take you away from your family. It is not about that. And if the man's family is toxic, then you are more than welcome to stay away from them. But this thing of just wanting to go there to prove the point, no, me, I will not take your ways. Stay away then uskaya. Stop going to provoke the elders. Mara, we are quick to say Mrs. Mang Mang. Everything. Aleko mafung. O makoti a tseba go ntse jwang. O tlo makoti ninga go ntse a go etsagalang. When do you want the family to start recognizing you as makoti? Show face. Participate once in a while. And then go back to your life. That's it. Why is that a little bit difficult, guys? Now a man is taken away from his family. He can't be with his family anymore. He can't be his family. Now, you are using his family. His family is now has adopted him. Like the Mandelas. You are married into the surname, but he's also a Mandela. Oshayatseo la adopta. Yo. If from jump, Lisa Chola now and you're not gonna fly with that, and you see he has no stand, then don't go for it. Leave him alone. He'll find a woman who'll be happy to like Mama Zala as things are. Hey, the Bible, man, the first rule, hey guys, we are losing respect for elders here. As much as we disagree with them, but we need to be smart in how we disagree. We need to start picking our battles. We need to start showing we are adults, guys. We can't be dealing with adult issues in some, but you did this. Nah, guys, let's take ownership. If you're not happy with something that's going on in your family, go and sit them down and be ready to have the honest conversation. And if they're not trying to have the honest conversation, then keep away. Still use your own discretion, but don't do the shit like you want to be treated as an adult, but you're not acting as one. Are you in or out? It's that simple. Are we in or out? Are we in this garden or not? But are we in this garden or not? I don't think I even touched on the punishment, the curse on Adam and the curse on Eve. The curse yaruna basadi is that we will have pain. Childbirth will be painful for us. Bringing out life will be painful for us. And for the man is for him to work hard to earn things. There's no more Garden of Eden. He needs to work, and he'll be dealing with weeds now. But I still think things are different. The punishment is always different if it starts off from you admitting and being, God, I just wanted to bite that fruit. Mudimu. Yo! We want fruit elemar. Not saying it's Eve. Not saying it's the serpent. Like, can we all just start taking accountability as brothers and sisters, man and woman, husband and wife, mothers and fathers, teachers, priests, healers? Life givers, can we please, guys, just start taking accountability? Yo! We choose the garden. He comes, he shows us, this is me. This is my garden. And you're like, yeah, vele ngangena mina ngizokwazi ngizokhona. Awungeni la ngasifaka ngakhona sis. Pick your battles. And if we move forward. Arlo wela mara Edem yena. What's about Edem yena? Edem lena. Anompitsa rkitle. Why am puditse lena al kashlarsel? Why am puditse Edem? How when Adam, how mudim lena why ntlisisa msadi oso? Now that we see the humanness in them, but you're forgetting you brought her into that garden. Because you didn't stand. When the serpent came, you didn't stand. When she came and tried to influence you, you did not stand in your promise to self and to God to say, no, we are not doing this if just start standing firm in what you believe in. Stand firm in your beliefs. Stand firm in your beliefs that your fathers taught you, that you know are what made you who you are. Stand firm in them. If she doesn't believe and she's showing that she's not there to help you grow, that then she must get out. She must off. We are here to build families here. We are not here to be playing games and making this one thing, this big mission of building families and growing tribes and clans into one person who wants to be served because she's the queen of this throne of this garden. She's the queen of this king who's there to guard and cultivate this garden. Oh, no. Start standing firm, my guys. Who are good at making suggestions and ordering things, but not making the work or doing the work to bring life in. Family, even if you walk away from them because they were toxic, when they look at you, they see the difference. They're seeing the influence that this woman is bringing. When they are dealing with you, they are not dealing with someone who's dust or dizzy. Life. Unalibuphilo mthola buwa isingixhayela nje sidididi nje sihlayela arwabuwa ka wena msadi mamu it's what, that is not a man. So tlogela go kgetha banna ba letlo batlang go ba influence ba letsebang gore you have the power over them, you can control them, you can own them. Stop going for men that you can control, and then tomorrow you can easily say you are weak man, you weak. Tomorrow you can say he's useless. Come on, sisters, brothers, come on. Let's wake up, everybody. We need each other. We need each other. But it all goes back to each one looking after their own garden. Adam must look after that garden. Eve, you must look after your own garden. Please, can we start looking at our influence? Let's look after each other. Let's be kinder to each other. We need each other, guys. Man needs woman, woman needs man. Child needs mother, child needs father. We need each other. We all need each other. We need each other. IG, please, let's use this month to just need each other and look after each other even more. Sisters and brothers. This one goes out to sisters and brothers. Aunty Magogo out. Bye-bye.